Shalom, everybody. Real quickly, I wanted to cover the issue of Chris Dorner. I know at this point some of you have already forgotten about the brother. That's how we are. As soon as something is out of the news media, we just quickly dismiss it and disregard it and move on to the next tragedy. As a people, we shouldn't do those types of things. We should start to question some of the stuff that we see happening and what we see being played before us. We have no idea what the true facts are. We only know what they have told us. I have no idea if this brother did any of the things they accused him of doing. I have no idea who that was burned up in that cabin. I don't know. And neither do you. We only know what these liars have told us. And the reason I'm coming at this angle saying these things is there was a documentary done on Detroit. Everybody knows about Detroit. It's a rough area, y'all. I lived a good portion of my life there. I wasn't born there, but I lived a good portion of my life in Detroit. And Detroit just, got pretty rough to the point where it's very difficult to even drive through there. I have family that still lives there, and again, it's a very rough area. That being said, when Detroit was still pretty much a mixed area, there were all types of false reports being shown in the news media. And it's not just Detroit. It happened a lot in other areas of this country too. That's their nature. They are liars, okay? Anyway, in Detroit, there's a documentary that's very interesting. It tells about the history of Detroit, the Jewish gangsters and all these people before it was really dominated by so-called black people. There was a news report that had went out saying that a white woman and her children or something were killed by some black man after being raped. And then a subsequent report went out that in retaliation, some black people were killed by white people in retaliation for that so-called or alleged murder. Now, as a result of that, there was a riot that broke out, and where the police were called in, the National Guard, and many people were killed as a result of trying to bust up this news report of this back and forth crime spree. Okay, now get this. It turns out that neither of those murders ever occurred. It was all made up by the news media. Historically, they have done this type of crap to get people in a frenzy for whatever reason or whatever angle they're trying to push. You see, and I hate to say it, but some of our people are so quick to believe whatever in the heck comes across that boob tube. Whatever they tell us, we believe it. Yes, we do. We need to stop this stuff. These people are historically liars. I mean, for goodness sake, they lied about history. They lied about everything. They lied about the slave trade. They lied about the people of the Bible. They presented us these false so-called facts, meaning they're not facts at all. They presented us with this falsism, saying that everybody in the Bible was white, and you black people come from apes and monkeys. And I hate to say it, but I bet some of us believe that crap. Anyway, I don't believe it. We need to stop believing all this stuff. I talked to a dear friend of mine. Okay, there was an incident that happened a few years ago where a cop in, I think it was San Francisco, somewhere in California. Anyway, a cop punched this young black teenager in her face, cold cocked her. They got it on camera for jaywalking. Okay. She and a bunch of other children were jaywalking. The cop started to tug on her friend, shoving and pushing and doing all this stuff. So she approached the cop to defend her friend. And it resulted in her getting cold cocked, hit in the face with his big fist. This big, giant, grown man hitting this child in her face with his fist. I talked to a friend of mine. You know what she said? She said that this young lady got what she deserved because she shouldn't have got up in his face. You know what I said to her? I said, do you think any white person in this world, not just this country, do you think any white person in this world would actually ever consent or agree to a big black man taking his fist, knocking some 17-year-old white girl in her face? I don't care what this girl did. They would never say that she got what she deserved. Even if he was a cop, he can be a judge, it don't matter. They would never do it. But we, on the other hand, we still got that slave massa mentality thing going on. Well, massa, he did something, you better whip him because I don't want to get in trouble. We still got that slave massa thing going on where we want to go tell. We got that house nigga mentality where we want to tell on the other ones. We want to let massa know that he trying to get away, massa. They planning on escaping tonight. We need to drop this mess, y'all, okay? We need to drop this stuff and stop consenting to people doing our folk wrong. They will never consent to us laying a hand on their people. Now, I know all of this lines up with the curses. I know all of this is directly linked to that. But at some point, you got to wake up. The scripture says it's high time to awake out of your sleep. Wake up, so-called black people. Wake up. Stop giving these people the green light to just mess us up and do whatever they want to us. Okay? It's time for us to start realizing who we are. We are not even black folk. I have to address this real quick. One brother keep saying something to me about using that term black. Just so you understand, brother, I understand where you're coming from, and I do agree with you. I say black because a lot of our people don't know who we are yet. They're in the phase of learning, some of them, and it's up to us to explain to them. If I address them as Hebrews, they're going to think I'm talking about a bunch of Jews. I ain't talking about them fake Jews in Israel. I'm talking about the so-called black people, the Negroes, whatever you want to call us. We are the Israelites, okay? Hebrew is not even the correct term. I'm sure a lot of you know that, but that's what we are known as. That's another, what do you call it? It's a spinoff from the real term. It wasn't Hebrew, okay? But anyway, I want our people to start to understand what is going out, what's playing out before us, and learn how to start to stop rolling with the punches and going with the flow. Start to examine and research and dive into these matters and understand what is happening. Okay? Shalom.